Hello and welcome to another episode of The Three Schooners. My name is Isaac.
My name is David.
And my name is JJ. And this week we have got Isaac, who for the first time isn't even in the same state as us.
I know.
He's on his
hollybops.
He's went that travelling thing in New South Wales. What was wrong with the original South of Wales? Well, many things. But guys, before we go on and talk about Isaac's travels and things like that, let's get on the beers.
Get on the beers. That's your civic duty. That's what's most important, and that's what must be done. Beers. Get on the beers, and that's what must be done.
Okay, so Isaac, here we go. You're in Sydney.
Look at him. He even looks more like Sydney. He's got his head down. He's happy for once. You're full of life. Look at him.
I mean, I have had 2 margaritas, a mojito, 2 beers, a Jaeger bomb.
Again.
And how much did the Jaeger bomb cost?
And a free lunch. It was at Scary Canary, so free, I think. I don't know.
Again, you can tell he's in Sydney. He starts his day with margaritas.
Yeah, margaritas on the beach. I got all my buttons undone.
Over here in Melbourne, we start with muddy water and disease.
Pain and suffering.
Isaac, what are you drinking today? What have you got with you?
I actually asked the bar what drink they had that was a screw top and not a bottle opener one, and I've got a Budweiser. A Budweiser is what I'm drinking at the moment.
It's a solid choice.
Budweiser.
Budweiser.
What about you, Dave?
I have got a bottle of muddy water. I've got a bottle of 4 Pines Brewing Pacific Ale.
Oh, good beer.
I like Pacific Ale. I thought I'd give 4 Pines a shot. Who are
mid-strength?
Is it mid-strength?
It's mid-strength, you little pussy.
Oh my God. I despise myself, to be honest. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Is it mid-strength? Yeah.
Right, JJ, what are you drinking?
What do you think I'm drinking, Isaac?
Well, I don't know. 2 hours ago, you didn't have a beer. So
I didn't have a beer. And I know that I do this every week and I go, I've got this beer, but actually it's a Desperado. But it's been a great Desperado drought in the whole country, it turns out, because I tried to get them from Perth as well. And
the lamps you go to is ridiculous to try and get Desperados.
It's desperation.
to the point where I'd be like, in one surprise where you've just kidnapped the brewer.
Who am I? Guys, who are we kidding here? Who are we kidding? And I've still got a furphy. I've actually not got them. Actually, genuinely not got any.
Which is Melbourne.
Wait,
beer.
are we being serious?
Yes, genuinely I do not have any. Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like this episode we should just scrap it already. I'm hotspotting off my phone. I'm in a basement in Sydney. You don't have a Desperado. It's pointless. The whole episode's out.
I've tried, man. But yeah, this week we're going to talk about Sydney and travel to other places in Australia. And yeah, first question I want to ask you, Isaac, what was the airport experience like?
It was very. Wait, let's cheers first. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Yeah. It's very quiet, very desolate. Like all of the bars, restaurants, all that airport experience, all those things inside were closed.
Really?
All the security checkpoints were closed except for one. So it was very just like, this is where you go. That's it. It was just really quiet, really, really quiet.
Was the plane busy? The
plane was every second seat. So it was a 6-seated lane 737. So you had window, aisle, window, full. And then every second seat in between was empty, except for the emergency lane, which is where I sat, which they had to have all full, which I assume is for legal reasons to make sure that you've got enough people to help open the door and all that bullshit.
How was that seating experience for you?
For me, I mean, I had a real attractive young lady to my right and another young lady to my left. So straight away when they brought out the wine, I was getting on the wines because I flew Qantas, not Jetstar. So I got free wine. And then...
Oh, so you did get free alcohol?
Yeah, free alcohol. I cracked a
Too
joke
bad.
with the girl on my right. She wasn't having a bar of it. And then the second round of drinks came out and she wasn't going to have one. I was like, come on, have a wine. It's free. She's like, I better. And then we had a bit of a banter. And then I saw the ring on her finger. And then I kept playing solitaire. So.
She found out
Not
your
great,
full
not great.
full name and blocked you on everything.
Now, you
Yeah,
did travel. You're there with a previous guest, aren't you, of the podcast?
Yes, I'm with Ash Nichols, our very first guest.
But
And
he
fe-
didn't fly, did he?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Did he fly or not?
No. Well, as we discovered in the last episode, he's scared of flying, isn't he?
So how long is that car ride? Like 8 hours or something?
A lot. 8 or 9 hours. And they did it in one go.
Jesus.
That's
I think
fucked.
it's-
I have
Who did
to
he-
do that on the way back.
Who did he come up with?
So Katie, who used to live with me at the Nomads hostel, and this other girl named Jess, who lives in Sydney. So they all
Oh,
drove
right.
up together.
So he had a car full of ladies, right? I understand now. Sorry.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
So, but in what you're saying there, 8 to 9, 10 hours maybe to get to Sydney. That is about the same as driving from, depending on traffic, it can be the same as driving from Liverpool to London.
No, it's Glasgow to London.
Is it Glasgow
Yeah.
to London?
Yeah,
would you say?
If not
yeah,
longer,
Glasgow,
isn't it?
London.
Yeah.
So you've just
It's a
drove.
decent
So we drove the whole of the UK.
Yeah,
pretty much.
essentially.
Just
Well,
from going from
No,
Melbourne
no,
to
he
Sydney.
didn't. Please realise there's so much more to the UK
Aberdeen.
north of Glasgow. No, that's like an 11-hour drive from Aberdeen. So
That's
still-
essentially, with traffic, that's essentially what it's like from, if this wasn't
you
COVID.
guys do your
Melbourne to
thing.
Sydney.
I'm going to go and find out distances. Here we go. Doing my thing,
But
You're the fact checks.
what you're talking about there is when I'm trying the fact that you can fit. Is it the entirety of Europe into Australia or something?
Oh, close enough to.
If they rejig the countries a little bit,
It's
spin them
ridiculous.
round.
It's ridiculous.
And when I left Melbourne the first time, I drove from Melbourne to Perth, and that took
What?
me.
Did you?
Yeah,
That's fucked.
Yeah, it took me just over 2 weeks to get there. In
Whoa.
a car.
Were you
I drove
walking?
through. I
Yeah, you
drove,
just listened to 500 miles. Like,
yeah, on repeat. I drove through the Nullarbor Desert, which is, it's like, have you ever seen Mad Max?
Yep.
It's like
haven't,
that.
actually.
It's like that.
Nullarbor, of course, means no trees in Latin, just so
Yeah,
you know.
it does. It does. And there are no trees there. You drive to the horizon and then you turn right and then you drive to the horizon again. And you just do that for 2 days and that's how long it takes you. across the
Okay,
strait.
here we go. I've got the distance. Oh my God. Okay, so the distance from Melbourne to Sydney driving is 878.4 kilometers, right?
Yep.
The distance from Aberdeen, right? So 878, right?
Yeah.
Distance from Aberdeen to London. So 878.4 is 879.02. There's 400 meters of a difference.
So
That's far.
that's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah.
That is a lot.
It's too
And
fast.
Ash did that. Ash did that because he's scared to fly. There you go. So you've traveled all that distance. And for me, when I went to Melbourne to Perth, there was a bit of a cultural difference. You know, people in West Australia were very more laid back, but you know, they say Perth is one of the most isolated cities in the world, which I struggle to comprehend. Well, is there much cultural difference from where you are? You know, would you say Sydney is different to Melbourne? If so, how?
I mean, obviously there is differences, but I think ultimately we're pretty similar. We're both very diverse, multicultural capital cities of our states. So Melbourne's full of people from Greece, Italy, Vietnam, fucking Sudan, wherever, that have all migrated or are here on working rights or holiday rights or expats or whatever. And
Liverpool.
Sydney's just the same. Liverpool,
Liverpool as well. Yeah.
Glasgow, of course.
Yeah, Aberdeen.
Aberdeen.
Yeah.
We literally don't know anyone from Aberdeen.
No, Mark Craigie, maintenance man for Nomads Coffee Palace.
I have no idea who that is.
No.
50-year-old Scottish guy that's living at. Yep.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh,
Yeah, that
hey,
guy.
Mark. Hope you're doing well, mate.
Yeah. He's from Aberdeen, I believe. But yeah, so Sydney, I think, is very similar in that regard. It's different. It's got different proportions of those mixes of different people from different places. But in its own right, it is similar in that it is very diverse and all that. The only big difference, in my opinion, is that it's pretentious as fuck. So if you go if you go to a bar, all these people wearing all these fucking fancy as fuck clothes, I walk in with my leggings and they all look at me like, what the fuck this guy doing? Whereas I don't get that as much in Melbourne. In Brunswick, it's normal. In Fitzroy, it's normal. In Chapel Street, it's kind of cool. In St Kilda, it's just like, oh, it's another backpack or whatever.
Oh, it's Isaac.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Isaac's here. Fuck. But in Sydney, they all look at you with their fucking stick nose and like, oh.
I have heard that about Sydney, and I've not been myself. I still want to go to check it out, but I've heard, it's so pretentious, and everyone there is absolutely stunning, beautiful, and they know it and they flaunt it, and
that's why I'm here.
just like you, Dave, just like you.
I mean, I definitely don't flaunt it, but I'll agree with you there, baby.
I've been to Sydney twice when I get flown up when I worked for Tesla, and I only ever experienced the inside of my hotel. I got on a boat when I was really drunk and ended up at the Sydney Opera House.
Solid.
And sat and drank. So the rules for Tesla were you can buy alcohol as long as it's with food. So I bought a plate of spaghetti bolognese and got fucking smashed. And just sat there for ages.
This sounds like a very you story. Like La Roche, one of the restaurants.
And that's why he doesn't work for Tesla anymore.
He ate all the spaghetti bolognese. But La Roche, one of the restaurants on Ackland Street, which you're a big fan of, and they are very good. Shout out to La Roche and all that.
Shout out to Aoife.
Yeah. All I ever hear from you is, I'm going to La Roche, spaghetti bolognese and a beer. Great.
I'm a simple man with simple taste, man. That's it. Give me a bit of spaghetti and a beer.
I can tell Desperado every fucking week until it's so
I'm
well.
so upset.
That's not simple. That's got tequila in there as well. It's
That's a bit, so got a little bit of taste.
Bit of mezcal in there.
Yeah. So I'm quite jealous that you're up there at the moment, Isaac. Can you tell people where it is that you're staying?
I'm staying at Base Sydney. I'm currently in the Base Sydney office corporate
podcast studio.
Yep. But no, staying at Base Sydney. It's good crack. They've got Scary Canary, which is their bar. A lot of people don't know that Scary Canary is their bar, even locals. And it's pretty much the hottest backpacker bar potentially in Australia. Like it's won that award many a time.
I've heard this. Yeah.
I reckon you've got like Scary Canary and then like Gilligan's, like neck and neck. As much as I love Red Eye, I'd say those two have really got it in the bag.
Gilligan's is that big backpackers up in, is it Cairns?
Yeah, Cairns. Wet t-shirts, pole dancing competitions, all the jelly wrestling.
Party Central.
All the good shit.
My mate Jesse, he tours about DJing. In fact, I think we're probably going to get him on the podcast at one point.
I bumped into him the other week.
You did. You FaceTime me going, is this the guy from the podcast? Is that the guy from the podcast?
Who's this? Jesse?
Yeah, Jesse James.
He's part of
your mate Jesse James, Lucky Entertainment, mate. I grew up in Essendon. They all went to Dirty Deluxe.
Oh, probably, yeah. Like good old Jesse, but yeah, he'll probably be in the podcast. He's a big fan of Scary Canary. He says it's great.
Yeah.
Massive fan. He says it's fucking wild. So
Lucky Entertainment people come through here. Like they fucking froth it. Like Matt from Mashd'n'Kutcher. Get on the beers. They've done their bit here.
Mm-hmm. We've had really good reviews.
So for someone, I mean, I work for Base and all that. I've still not been to Scary Canary. So just give us a bit of a description of what it's like for people like me who actually haven't been, All
right. The thing that Scary Canary can do better than Red Eye, better than Base St Kilda, better than Summer House, better than any bar, I think, is that they can get suits in during the day that are ordering 50, 60, 70, 100 covers of meals every weekday for lunch, and then dinner trade, and then 3 hours later have a wet t-shirt contest or a silent disco or whatever the fuck else. And it works, and no one judges, no one's weird. Like, if you're getting corporates, 40, 50-year-olds in the daytime eating steak and having a pint with lunch, and then 12 hours later is having 19-year-old English girls getting fucking doused in water wearing a white t-shirt and whatever else is going on, right? That's a testament to great management, great promotion, great bar, really.
How
Absolutely.
do they make that? Is it a secret? But how do they make that transition so quickly?
Well, they add a little bit of sugar and spice and everything nice, and it just happens. That was a Powerpuff Girls reference.
You made that sound highly illegal.
Have you listened to the Powerpuff Girls theme tune recently? It's an absolute drum
Recently,
and
they
bass.
changed it.
No, it's the same one. But if you listen to it again, it's a drum and bass
No, I
banger.
haven't.
It's so good, man. I never realized that when I was a kid. It's so
I
fucking
used to
good.
love Powerpuff Girls. It's
Yeah, man,
so
it's
good.
great. Mojo. He's a guy.
I never thought our
Yeah,
podcast
right.
would come
Yeah.
to
Do
this.
you remember him? The lobster guy that wore a dress for some reason?
Yeah.
He's great.
Oh, that's
Loved it.
superb.
Do you remember Samurai Jack?
Yes. Samurai Jack was unreal.
It was kind of similar, kind of cartoony shit.
Right. So bars. So Scary Canary has they've been around for a long time. They've got a great promotional, like we're talking about Lucky Entertainment. They're very linked with them. They got great acts in at night, but then they also just pump the corporate lunchtime trade, and they've got real good food. So it's real weird coming from like base St Kilda, which can't really do that as well in St Kilda. We don't have the corporates. We don't have all that. But here they can do fucking 70 steaks at lunchtime and then get everyone saucy, wet, and Jaegered up at night. It's fucking unreal.
It is incredible. I
yeah.
do feel like each of the bases have their, I mean, some don't, but each of the bases have their own unique points. Obviously, what you're saying, Scary Canary has got this corporate switch over to getting absolutely loose, and it has some really famous people coming through the doors where, Red Eye Bar.
We just get fingered at bingo.
Yeah, we do the Boozy Bingo, which is absolutely... I heard about Boozy Bingo before I even came to Australia. That's how big it was,
Yeah.
People, when I was booking my flights to Australia, and they were like, oh, where do you want to go? I was like, oh, where do you think? And they were like, oh, I reckon Melbourne. There's a place there called Based, and they do Boozy Bingo, and it's absolutely loose. And I'm hearing about that before I've even got on the plane. That's a testament to itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you say you've never been to Sydney?
I've never been to Sydney now.
Never been to Sydney. JJ, you've been to Sydney, right?
I've been to fucking Sydney.
What are your thoughts?
I said this on last week's episode with Kerry, that is so in Scotland, you've got Glasgow, Edinburgh, and Edinburgh is the really pretentious bit. And Glasgow's the nice down to earth area that you can have a good time in. I think Sydney is the Edinburgh of Australia. I think that it is exactly what you said. It's people that are, they care too much about what people think, and all that nonsense. I'm not for that, man.
I don't think I'd be for that. That's why I fell in love with Melbourne.
So, all right, here's the thing, right? I love Melbourne, right? And I'm from Melbourne, but I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I think we're looking at Sydney, as I always love to do. I think Sydney CBD, absolutely, right? You go to Coogee, you go to Bondi, a bit different, right? Got a bit more beach vibes, you got a bit more chill vibes. Then you got Newtown. Newtown is very Brunswicky. It's very Fitzroy-y.
How do you think they named
lentils as anything, live music. I think they went to the town. I was like, fuck, this town is pretty damn new. Fuck, let's call it Newtown.
Let's call it town. No, it's brand new. Let's call it Newtown. Ta-da.
But what about when it gets
No,
old?
they had town. They had town in the city, and then they were like, oh, fuck, this new place. Fuck.
Yeah.
We can't also call this place town.
I wonder if our dad jokes will ever get old. No, they won't. Tune in next week.
Old like Old Town.
Yeah.
I heard a really good dad joke that I'm going to tell you now. A friend of mine came up to me and told me he was going to get a Labrador, and I said, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. They're really dangerous." He went, "Why?" He went, I said, "Have you seen the amount of the owners that they have that go blind?"
I tell you what I loved about that is that you're wearing a Bunnings Warehouse hat and you've got that dirty moustache and it works so well.
Yeah,
Well, that's going to get cut out and used for an Instagram post.
Yeah. We haven't done a highlight for a little bit.
No, I need to do the cuddy and the Eddie. That's my bad. I'll go backwards. I was very close to getting the owner of Base into this.
Oh, we should have done it.
He left the office before I got a chance. If it started earlier, would have.
TC.
No.
Oh,
Dan Bunnings.
Dan. Oh, okay.
Dan
Oh my
Bunnings
God.
was around.
Can you imagine I was wearing a Bunnings hat and Dan Bunnings came on?
It would be unbelievable. It's all right. I'll fly
my
to Sydney
God,
another
man.
time. We'll make it happen.
Oh, can we actually do that? I'm so into that.
Yeah, it's a business trip. I'll claim it. But
But
so Sydney-
how did that go down? It was just like, but yeah, I do a podcast now.
Oh, no, I was chatting to Renee. So Renee, for those that don't know at home, she's one of the operations managers of Base St. Kilda, been with it for years, legend of a person. And I asked her, like, oh, can I use the podcast studio for my podcast? She was like, yeah, that's fine. You should get Dan in there. Give him 2 minutes. And then someone else, who I won't name, said 2 minutes. That's 1 minute longer than he deserves. So,
Well, that's something I'm fucking editing out already.
no, not as shade. It was a cheeky joke. But yeah,
he's
so
well
here.
liked.
Well, he is. He's a fucking legend. He's given us all fucking oases. Anyways,
Imagine
point
I was wearing the hat. Fuck, man.
that would have been superb.
We need to let it happen.
But yeah, so Sydney versus Melbourne. I've been to both. I think you've got your perks of both, right? You do have strengths and weaknesses. But ultimately, Melbourne shits all over Sydney, doesn't it? Like, let's be honest.
Absolutely.
But employability in Sydney is fucking. There's so many more jobs. There's so much more going on. Whether you're in construction, bar, whatever, there is a shitload going on in Sydney.
What's the train situation? How's the trains looking?
Well, they just built some trams in the city. I don't know about the trains. I think the Labor government likes to spend more on public transport. Therefore, you being in a Labor government state, such as Melbourne, Victoria, it's probably better for you.
I find what you're saying though is the work situation's better in Sydney. I found the work situation in Australia as a whole better than what it is in the UK. Like, fundamentally, you could lose your job today, and if you go out and look for it, the search for a new job is not that difficult, and you could
not difficult at all.
You could be in a job tomorrow. That's the beautiful thing about Australia. Not just any job, probably highly likely a decent paying job if you've came from the UK.
I was watching a video today of a guy that's a doctor in the UK. Do you know how much he gets paid to being a doctor? A junior doctor, sorry. £40,000 a year. That's not a good wage.
That's not for a junior doctor, nah.
Not a good wage. Works out after tax at £14 an hour. What?
Get fucked.
I mean, I was on.
That's how much I earn.
I was
so messed up.
I was on 25, and then I went to 30 before I left the UK, and I was just a fucking salesman.
£30 an hour.
30K. 30K a year. And I was
about to say, I was like, Jesus,
I was just
£30 an hour. Why did you leave?
Yeah, but if you do this, like a junior doctor's getting 10K more than me. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, once he's done his thing, he'll go into a different tier, but
residency and all that.
Yeah, but even then, it's like you earn, I think it's £70,000, which is fair play, is a lot of money, but not compared to America.
I just found
that's a consultant.
I just find the quality of life in Australia better. So you come over here, like I was a duty manager to begin with at Base. I had a bar job, duty managing. I could move out, pay my rent happily, pay my bills, still have money to go out and get pissed, still have money to buy shit I want. Where when I was back working, in the bars back home in similar roles, I fucking didn't have a nickel to my name. It was very hard to survive.
And you don't, and that's the thing about the UK, it really doesn't pay well, but the cost of living's much lower, blah, blah, blah. So everything kind of evens out.
It's all about balance.
Absolutely. And I think Melbourne's really got a lot of that. I think, as you were saying, Dave, it's really easy to find a job here. Shit.
Are we
beer number 2?
Oh, yeah. We hope you're drinking along at home as well.
Yeah, and drink responsibly, drink water.
No, fuck that shit. Don't drink responsibly. For every one we drink, you drink 9.
I love that. I love that because some people listen to podcasts on the way to work, so they're just absolutely steaming when they go in.
Yeah,
Why are
they
you
took all
steaming?
of our advice.
Why are you steaming? I'm fresh.
I used to work for Sky back home, which is Foxtel here.
Have you ever had a shit job?
Me?
Oh, I worked for Tesla. I worked for Sky.
Sky was a fucking terrible job as a retention
Yeah, but I
staff.
bet you there was perks. I bet you
Yeah,
had
there's
perks.
always that.
You got free Sky, free internet, blah blah. But
Free
used to work
internet?
there. Yeah, you got it's
Free
great,
phone?
man. No, I didn't get a free phone because their network's terrible.
Oh yeah, you guys have different. Your telcos are different over in the UK. Aren't
We
they?
still have Vodafone, and guess what? They're fucking shit in UK as well.
Fucking terrible. They're bad.
I
In
came
fact,
over here and I was like, I need to get a new phone network because I just arrived, and like you said, the network's different. And I was like, I'll go for Vodafone because it was the only one I recognised over here. I don't know why I did it because the shit in the UK, and I didn't know why I thought they'd be any different here. Bollocks. Sorry,
Yeah,
Vodafone.
terrible. Telstra are great. Go for Telstra.
Telstra site. No, come on, too expensive.
I've got a
Aldi,
Telstra phone.
Aldi network.
I'm
I've
with
got a Telstra
I'm
phone.
with-
I've got an Optus phone.
I'm with
with
Optus. Optus give you Optus Sport for free, which means, if you're an English or whatever lad over here or girl or whoever, if you're into the Premiership, you can watch the entire Premiership for fucking free over in Australia.
Yeah, but
if you're with Optus.
Aldi's like $12 a month for everything. It's like dumb.
And you get a free dry beer with it.
And a fucking dolphin harpoon and and a lantern. Why
They
not?
just let you go up that middle aisle and go pick 3 things.
That
with your
middle
eyes.
aisle.
You've got to have your eyes closed.
Do you know what? That middle aisle is
and they
ingenious.
spin you. They spin you around, and you're like, that one.
Yeah, that middle aisle is
Congratulations.
basically what I use for Secret Santa. It's like, oh, you're in Secret Santa. I go straight to Aldi and like, yeah, whatever. You're getting a tea lantern or
A
you're
3-month-old child.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to please drink responsibly and don't actually do that. Drink as much as you want. When I used to work for Sky, I worked with this guy called Dean Basnett. Hey, Dean, I know you're not listening, but I love you. And we used to go in fucking smashed, like a good at least twice a month. We'd go in drunk as we could be.
Right.
from
Is
the night
Dean
before.
still employed by Tesla?
Nah, not Tesla, Sky.
Is Dean still employed?
No, he's in there. Yeah, you know.
Sky. Is Dean still employed by Sky?
No, not anymore. I don't think. I hope he is. If he is,
I was about
then-
to say, you've just thrown him under the bus. Be like, me and this guy used to get fucked all the time, and he still works there.
we would tell our manager, like, we're drunk. She's like, I don't give a fuck. It's great. It was a good time to be alive. And you know what? That's the kind of place I want to work again. You can't, unfortunately, working with trains, you can't have any, like, if you blow 0.01 alcohol on your breath whilst working in the railway industry, it's a lifetime ban. Lifetime.
From the railway.
Yeah.
So you can't get on trains.
That was quite good, Dave. I like that.
Yeah.
More
dark jokes from the free schooners. Yeah.
So we are doing a bit of a shorter episode this week, mostly because Isaac's on holiday and we had a couple of technical difficulties.
Dedication though from Isaac. Well done. buddy.
I had technical difficulties. You guys didn't. I just couldn't get the Wi-Fi sorted. Which, by the way, I've now got a text message. Give me the Wi-Fi password. But hey, it's fine. We sorted it.
Okay, so we've got 10 minutes left because we're only doing a little 40-minute episode this week because Isaac has to go get fucked up. Isaac, tell me this. Tell me this.
Yep.
If me, JJ, mustachioed man, were to go to Sydney,
You look like Mario. I've just realized.
do a little Mario. It's a JJ.
Yep.
What's the atmosphere like there right now? Is everyone is it got the energy back in it that it had? How many people are in the hostel?
It's different. So the hostel is quiet at the moment.
I thought that was your final answer. It's different.
Yeah, no.
That's it.
So the hostels are quiet, but the streets seem kind of normal-ish. Not normal, but there's people walking around everywhere. you're confused because you don't need to wear a mask, and
Oh, we don't have to wear one here now, though.
no, I know, but it's dense. It's dense, right? High density. You can't social distance. There's enough people on the street where you wouldn't be able to social distance. Therefore, based off of Dan's rules, you'd probably have to wear a mask.
Daddy Dan, Daddy Dan, Daddy Daddy Dan.
I loved his tweet about that. That was super.
The onions thing, the Bunnings, inside Bunnings, wear a mask. In the car park where you can socially distance, don't wear a mask. Onions on your sausage.
Yeah. Yes. Why don't Bunnings call their onions Bunions?
What? No.
Bunnings call their onions
Don't
Bunions.
try and ruin a good thing.
Call them Bunions.
Joke free of the week.
I'll go there.
By
with
the way,
Labrador.
this podcast is sponsored by not wearing a mask, Spunions, and
What do you mean Spunions? It's
Desolate
Bunions,
airports.
you fucking fuckwit. Desolate airports and Bunnings hats. Coming to you like, oh no, have we lost Isaac? Have we lost him?
I think so.
I think we've lost him. Ladies and gentlemen, that might actually have to be the end of our podcast this week.
whatever.
Oh wait, he's back. He's back.
Oh, he's jumping all over.
He's back. Isaac,
Back.
you're back.
Wait.
You're back. We were worried.
I'm back.
Right,
Back once again like a renegade
7
master.
minutes. Can you feel it? Nothing can save you. Dave.
Oh, you're
Dave.
gonna make me ask a question now, aren't you? Oh, you
I
asking
am.
me a question?
No.
don't
I
make
want
me
you
ask
to ask a question.
Oh, I don't know. Oh God.
What do you want to know most about Sydney? Tell me.
How much is a bloody schooner there, mate? That's what I want to know. Is it the same? Because I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't bought a schooner. I've gone straight to pints.
Yeah.
Have you slept yet, Isaac?
So,
Have they still got the lockout laws there?
all right, here's the deal. They've removed those.
No fucking
And now
way.
you can have shorts. You can have shots
please
after
explain.
midnight.
Please explain what they are, because
So the lockout laws were you could not enter a venue in the central city after midnight. So a food and beverage venue you could not enter unless it was the casino. You couldn't get shots after midnight. You couldn't get doubles. I think that's still a thing. You can't get doubles. But you couldn't get shots. You couldn't do this. You couldn't do that. All these things after midnight to stop excessive drinking. But they've gotten rid of those. So now I can have a Jaeger bomb at 2:59 a.m. at Scary Canaries, and I can't wait.
you hate Jaeger bombs, though, don't you?
I fucking can't stand them. They're horrendous.
Would
But you love
would you advise anyone from the UK going straight to Sydney first, or would you say go to Melbourne and work your way up?
My
There is
recommendation for any.
There is that battle like I had. It was like, because it's either Melbourne or Sydney. They're probably the two most famous cities in Australia, arguably.
The way I look at it is that if you come into a new country, you want to do all of the country, right? It doesn't matter where, Australia, America, wherever. So if you come to Australia and you fly into Sydney, you can go down one stop to Melbourne and then back up and then do the East Coast, right? Or fly into Melbourne and then fly up, drive up, right? Do the whole East Coast. So Melbourne, Sydney, Byron, blah, blah, blah.
Do the whole country. Do the East Coast.
No, I mean, eventually, right? But yeah, fuck the rest of it. West Coast, it's too far away. But if you fly into Sydney, you got to double back on yourself to go south. It's the same thing as like when we try and tell people to go to the East Coast, you tell people to either start from Melbourne, drive up and fly back down, or fly up to Cairns, rent a car and drive down, right?
Now,
Because it
ladies and
makes
gentlemen,
sense.
Isaac is the place that Isaac's saying is spelled Cairns, but Australians refuse to use the letter R when saying the word Cairns for some
Cairns. It's Cairns.
It's not.
Cairns.
You're saying cans. You're saying literally cans.
Yeah,
Dave?
it's Cairns.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like cans, yeah.
It sounds like cans.
Cairns.
I've never even, but then you're saying that, like, travel around Australia. It's
Cairns.
fucking huge. Like, I think the furthest.
Right.
Sunshine Coast.
Bourke. How do you say it?
B-O-U, Burke. Burke.
I'll take
Well, that backfired.
Why? What did you think I was going to say? Burke.
Burke.
I don't know. I was with an English girl today, and she was like, "What did she say?"
What's her name? What's her name?
It was like Bock Street. No, what was it? It was
Bork.
Katie. Katie was like Bork Street. She was like Bork Street. I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Do you know why? Do you know
Is
why?
it an alien? Bork.
English. That's all I'm saying.
Why?
That's all I'm saying.
Right, you did this last week. You know your thing. That's it. I'll fucking deport you.
I've got more of a say.
You're on the
I've got more of a
string of your
visa here than
fucking
you
toes
do.
with your visa.
Right, we got 3 minutes left. Isaac, tell the listeners what they can expect from you in Sydney. What are you going to do when you're there?
For me in Sydney?
Yeah.
When I'm in here, all right, I'm going to get real
dance on
fucking
the roof.
drunk. I'm not going to dance on the roof. I don't do that in places where I don't know all the rules and all the people. But in Sydney, I am going to the beach tomorrow, I think. I know some people down in Coogee and in Bondi. So I'll go to the beach during the day, then drinks in their bars at the night. I'll drink in Scary Canaries. I have been told to go to Manly, but I've done that before, and I don't know if I can be bothered doing it again. Bit of drinks, maybe some like say hello to some friends. A lot of ex-Base St Kilda staff members are here, so I'll probably see all them, catch up, and then eventually, hungoverly, drive to Byron. Yeah. So lots of drinking, basically just drinks.
Now,
As
for
you'd
everyone-
expect from a holiday.
Yeah, for everyone in the UK, you know how you're in November now, and I presume that it's cold as shit. Just think about Isaac sitting on Bondi Beach, tanning his pale, pasty skin, and looking a little bit like Jesus on meth. He will be warmer than you, he will be more attractive than you, and he will be more sun-glazed than you are. So I just want to keep that image in your head. That is taking us to the end of the week. And sorry, not the end of the week. This is Tuesday when we're recording this. But this is taking us to the end of the podcast. Wait, is it Wednesday? It might be Wednesday. It's Wednesday. This is taking us to the end of the podcast. It is shorter than normal this week. Please join us again next week when we've got a special guest, Santa Claus.
Right. Before we do any of this, just remember this is the last chance, because you do have a little bit of an overflow, to donate to our Movember campaign.
Yes.
And
So we've all got our different moustaches. By the way, now, bit less than a shadow. Still not great, but considering I grew up from scratch, we've all got our 3 different mows. We've got the links in the show notes, JJ. In the show
I did
notes.
it last week. Did you notice? I was in it last week.
Very good. So we've got those. We might do, I think we should do a final pimp out at some point. Just this, but yeah, donate even $1, $2, 30 cents. Fucking, if you're about to buy a Jaeger bomb at the bar, buy 2, but don't buy the second one. And the money for the second one goes to Movember.
Yep, $5
Yeah,
Jaeger bomb.
buy 2, drink it, ask for a refund, and go, shit, I was meant to put that to charity. Can I refund?
This is the opposite of what we just asked for, Dave. The opposite.
Yeah, all right, come on. It's not terrible.
I mean, yeah.
I'm very shiny. Anyways, yes, so Movember, do that. Also, if you don't already know, we've got the merch link. So jump on our Etsy page, grab a shirt if you want.
And when you do buy a shirt, send us a picture of you wearing it.
Yes.
Yeah, we'd love that. That'd be beautiful.
And if you're in Melbourne, drinks.
Yeah.
Drinks. Yeah, we should do like a Christmas meetup.
That's something we'll organize on the socials. And yes, I'm down.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Well, it's goodbye from me. I'm JJ, and goodbye.
It's a goodbye from me. I'm joining in this weird goodbye thing that I always hate, but it's a goodbye from me, Isaac. Wait.
And it is a goodbye from me, David. So everyone out there, stay safe, have some drinks, and Isaac, have a great holiday, mate. See you on the
Can you
flip
look at
side.
the camera, Dave? Just for the.
It looks like you're sucking a dick.
Yeah, just make a noise, just because it'd be nice.
Hey. There's my mic. There you go. Hello. There you go. Goodbye.
It didn't work, but fuck
Didn't,
it. Bye.
doesn't matter. Fuck Dave off.